Welcome to The Screen Queen, the show where I'll be talking about your favorite TV show or your favorite movie. You'll just have to listen to find out. This is your host, Samantha Parrish. Hello there, and welcome back to the show. I am your host, Samantha Parrish, your lean, mean, movie-talking machine. So, I have some thoughts about the trailer that dropped for Yu Yu Hakusho. So, a majority of the people on the show know that Yu Yu Hakusho is my all-time favorite anime. Like, I do not have to have a reason to watch Yu Yu Hakusho. No special occasion. Every day is a special day when I get to watch Yu Yu Hakusho. And I love it so very much. It's changed my life. So knowing that there was going to be a live action of my favorite anime, I'm like, okay, bring it on. And first, I thought it wasn't going to happen. Not like it's a pessimistic thing to say that it wasn't impossible, but looking at the way Yu Yu Hakusho is presented, I was a little confused on how that was going to transfer over. There are some things that really can't be there with the build and uniqueness of the bodies for a majority of the characters, human and demon. Like, how's it gonna work? There's always some kind of meet in the median for the different types of medias to breach the gap of the time period from then and reaching in the time period now, that as long as the character has a strong likeness and there is something that is doing the best it can to lead to the style of a character, then that's what matters. Because that's been a major issue here the past 10-15 years of anime live actions, is the disappointment of seeing your favorite character not look like the character that you love from the anime. Now, with it being a big difference that it's a live action of a cartoon, it is tough to tango how there is going to be that meet in the middle, like I mentioned. But recently, with One Piece being the grand successor that shocked everyone, that they didn't think that the live action version was going to hold up, and it did. Another example I covered also in The Screen Queen was Alita Battle Angel. It did take more of a dramatic approach to make a character really look like the original. No complaints about that. They did a fantastic job. Like, that's two prime examples of the way things are changing with anime live actions being depicted in America. However, Yu Yu Hakusho is going to be a Japanese series, not an American adaptation. And honestly, I like that. As much as I do like that America has changed a little bit, they're making baby steps to create a faithful adaptation. Yu Yu Hakusho just needs to exist in Japan for so many reasons. As much as there are some really great cosplayers that can be able to pull off all of these characters, and I know there's some actors out there in America that might have a likeness, it just has to be in the homeland. But from what I saw in the 2-minute trailer of what they did for Yusuke, Kuwabara, Kurama, and Hiei, I like it. After I finished watching the trailer, I went on IMDb and I went to go see if I could see anything I recognized from any of these 4 actors. And foreign stuff is not really a major gravitation for me. I still want to know, like, what's their range. I need to trust these people that are going to be playing the characters I've loved since I was 7 years old. And so, I saw some familiar previous anime live actions for a couple of them. I want to say it was the actor that played Kuwabara or Hiei. Either way, I'm either half wrong or half right, and I'll take both answers. Seeing that these are actors that are not fresh to the game, they've had some experience, and I like the fact that the cast is older than the characters themselves, and usually that's a little bit strange. In the anime, the characters range between 14 and 15 years old, and it's a strange question about how old Hiei is, so there's like a free range for that. However, I don't think you could see teenagers playing these teenagers, like, at all. The characters act way... Well, actually, no. Anime characters in general act way older than any teenager or 20-something that you know in real life. Like, they are so serious. Like, they say more advanced shit than I do in my late 20s. And the fact that the cast is played by actors in their late 20s and mid 30s, I like that. That really makes it seasoned. And I do feel that the characters do share, like, a likeness to the titular four characters. I mean, it's not going to be exactly the same thing. However, just knowing the fact they got that attitude just down, like, I love that so much. And the 2 minutes of the trailer I saw was just gold. However, I couldn't quite get where the series was going to go. We get a couple of little details that's going to follow a couple of the arcs. One being the dead arc that we get introduced to Yusuke being a ghost and going through the trials, and then he comes back to being a human with a downer deal that he's going to have to protect the Earth for the rest of his life as a spirit detective. Just luck of the draw. So we do get snippets of how they're going to recreate the accident that killed Yusuke Urameshi and set the plot forward. I saw some snippets of, like, Hiei coming in with a sword. I was like, oh, my ovaries exploded. And seeing Kurama coming in with the long red hair, I'm like, okay, cool. At least they got Kurama accurate-ish. There's more about that later. And then seeing Kuwabara, I like how they really, like, got him amped up that, you know, this is your secondary character. I really dug that. It gave me things that I know I can see the characters doing. There's another part that I remembered where Yusuke, Hiei, and Kurama were fighting Toguro, and I'm like, well, that never happened in the series, but I'll still watch that. That is a alternate idea that I will gladly see. I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me so I can get more of Yu Yu Hakusho. It's like getting something else that could still fall in the same realm of the storytelling we got back in the 90s when Yu Yu Hakusho first premiered. And at the very end of the trailer, to finish this off, we do see Yusuke in his Dark Tournament uniform. So, that begs my question. If I'm seeing snippets of the beginning of Yu Yu Hakusho, and from what I see is the Dark Tournament, is this going to be like a 8 to 12 episode deal? Because all I saw so far before its December 14th reveal is there's 3 episodes. And, I wonder if it's going to be like an hour long per episode like they did with most shows these days with True Detective or some of The Walking Dead, where they just gave more airtime to cover more of the arc. I don't know. It's just a random question I had popped to my mind that I'm going to just have to see for myself when it comes out on December 14th. But after the trailer dropped, I saw some stuff in my feed about some of the people that have reacted to the live-action Yu Yu Hakusho trailer. And shit, majority of them roasted Kurama. Like, I thought that was hysterical. Like, looking at the actor playing Kurama, it is a very interesting way they have styled the hair for Kurama. But honestly, I am just happy that the character has the iconic red hair. I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me. As long as it is close to the hairstyle, or at least around the same hairstyle, I have no complaints. It's not like what a majority of fans went through with Dragon Ball Z, where the character Bulma was shown with brown hair and one blue streak and one purple streak. Like, what are you trying to do to mold a character different than what they look like? And clearly, from what we've seen with the cast, there's no deviation. There's a slight alteration to kind of mend to certain modern times, but other than that, like, I can clearly tell who is Yusuke, who is Kuwabara, who is Hiei, and who is Kurama. Like, the attention to detail, I really love. And seeing the teaser pictures, and then getting to see the trailer, I'm like, wow, this is all I could ever ask for a live action. I know that's too soon to tell about what's going to happen with the show, but I like what I saw. I like what I looked up. I like the way it looks. I like the fact that watching the trailer was following the same realm of what I remember watching when I grew up with this show. Like, it just fit the theme, the vibe, the atmosphere. I felt that same thing when I first saw this when I was 7. And, it's a show or a movie is doing something right if it is having you remember the way that you saw it growing up. That you welcomed the change, but it still felt like you were going back in the past. Like, I shit you not, watching this trailer was like the equivalent of the food critic in Ratatouille taking a bite and then all of a sudden he's just back in his childhood. Like, I felt that when I watched this trailer. I am so excited for this. I'm sure a majority of you all know, and I'm going to keep up my toes. I like what I see, but I'm still going to give it a fair criticism that it still has to make all the marks that I would want to see. And I can't wait to cover the show when it pops up for an episode on The Screen Queen. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Trailer Time. I really appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you'd like to catch up with me in between uploads, you can find me on my Instagram at the Queen of the Screen if you also want to talk about the live action to Yu Yu Hakusho. And if you would like to find me on my TikTok, where I also post some stuff about movie-related content, my username is at the Mystical Space Witch. And if you would like to see the book series that I've written, you can find it in the description box. Alrighty, your next episode on The Screen Queen is going to be the first episode of the Christmas series with Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. I hope you all enjoy that episode. Again, happy holidays, stay amazing. This is your Screen Queen, signing off. Bye-bye!